All right. Thank you so much for joining me live. Today's live is all about embracing your silliness, your sacred silliness. And one of the things that brings me a lot of joy and silliness is 90s music. Who's with me on the 90s music pipe? Love your smile. All right, I'm going to turn the music down, but who else loves 90s music? Share with me if you love 90s music. I love 90s music. It's one of the things that really just gets me like back in my groove, back in my silliness, back in my joy. So I would love to know from you if you also love 90s music. So I'm going to be doing a live here today. It's also going to be then on the podcast. Hello, Alicia. Hello, Bonnie. Hello, Cara. Hello, Laura. Hello, Page Studio. Thank you so much for joining me live. It's been a while since I did one, but I really felt cool to do one. I'm going to also use it on the podcast. So we're double filming here. So I was having this conversation with quite a few people actually recently. But Alicia, who's watching me live now, you inspired me for the theme for this Sunday's Women's Circle because hello, my love, because of the conversation that we were sharing around this concept of like, when do we stop ourselves from truly actually enjoying the moment or telling ourselves that we don't have permission to fully enjoy the moment and we don't have permission to laugh and be silly and let go and have fun, and we kind of like shrink ourselves back as women and we hold it in and we might clench our jaws and we kind of think, oh no, like I can't be worthy of having this much fun, I can't be worthy of having this much joy, like it's not possible for me to participate in this aspect of life. And by the way, pull up a cup of tea, get a cup of tea, pull up a chair, we're gonna have a little chat. Got a really delicious cacao that's been in the freezer overnight. Oh, hey, Cara. Nice to see you. So, yeah, my question is, when did we as women stop thinking that we were allowed to have fun and participate in life? Now, this might not be something that everybody relates to. Maybe some people are like, no, I'm having the time of my life. I know exactly how to have fun. I love to let go. I love to experience stuff. But for many women that come into my field, certainly women that I work with in my one-to-one containers, women that come to my women's circles, and just also friends that I've had conversations with, and even including myself, it's like, why can't I allow myself to just be silly? I was thinking about it a lot yesterday, and I was thinking about like what moments in my life personally did I have these moments where I was told, you know, you're too much or you're too loud or, you know, pipe it down. And I was thinking back even to like to school when, and you know, I was a teacher for many years, so I've seen this happen in the classroom multiple times when, you know, when you get the uncontrollable giggles and kids in school, they're like, someone starts to laugh and then loads of other people start to laugh and they try and suppress the laughter. They're like they try and suppress the laughter. Like, let me know if you know what I'm talking about when I share this. I'm sure you do. Any of you that have children, any of you that have been to school, you know what I'm talking about. And we suppress the laughter because we don't want to get in trouble. Because if we laugh out loud, God forbid, the teacher's going to tell us off and we're going to get in trouble. So we suppress the laughter, we suppress the joy. Joy, something, hey Tom, something that is just so inherently part of our birthright, like being silly, acting like a child, being playful. In school, it gets suppressed, right? You're not, hello, Alana, nice to see you. It gets suppressed. You try and suppress that laughter because you think, shit, I'm gonna get in trouble with the teacher. And so already you have this like authority figure telling you when and where you can express yourself, like when it's permissible for you to just be in your full liberated expression. And then you learn to shut that down and you internalize that as like, if I'm in my liberated expression and I'm silly and I want to laugh out loud and I want to be joyful, like it's going to disturb other people. It's going to create a fuss. It's going to cause an issue. It's going to cause a problem, right? Because that's your lived experience of it. Just let me like give me a comment in the give me a comment if you've experienced that, where you've had to really like suppress your laughter because you thought you were going to get in trouble. And then let's talk about the fact that we're told we're too much. Now, me personally, in my personal experience, I grew up absolutely loving theatre and drama, right? Like I went to theatre classes since like I was really, really young. And I loved the playful, silly aspect of like getting to be another character, of like performing, of being someone other than myself. I loved just like being on the stage. I loved singing, especially more than acting. I loved singing, but I loved all the drama games. I loved the silliness that came along with it. And so growing up, I used to go, isn't that every day for every child at school? Yeah, exactly, Tom. And so growing up, I would go to a lot of theatre groups. I was performing on stage, and there was this one point where it switched from me being in my creative expression and just being silly with it, like from the drama game moment where you're just like warming up and you're enjoying it, to like, no, this is serious now. You've actually got to be on stage and you've got to put on a mask and you've got to perform. And so even then, all the silliness gets taken away. Like all of the joy gets taken away, because one minute you're in this like joyful state of, oh, I'm playing drama games and this is so much fun and I'm allowed to just have a laugh and be silly. And the next minute I'm having to put a mask on and I'm having to get on stage and I'm having to perform and I'm having to be really professional. And I feel like this is a real metaphor for life, like what we experience in life. And, you know, I became a drama teacher. I've been a performing arts teacher. I was a performing arts teacher for 16 years of my life. And I would see kids in the classroom wanting so much to let go and be silly, but being like, no, I can't. Like I can't do that. I'm not going to look cool in front of my friends. They're going to think I'm weird if I just go for it. They're going to think I'm strange if I just like let myself go and be in my full expression. Even though in that space, as a teacher, I was encouraging them to be in their full expression, right? And I could see like the looks on their faces and the tension in their body. And so often the kids in my classroom would stand like with their hands in front of them like this, protective, or their arms folded, really clenched, legs crossed, like the shame of being able to let go and just be a total silly Billy. Just being a total silly Billy has just been like totally knocked out of us. And even for those people who have made it a career or who have made it part of their life, like there's still that performative aspect. And then it's like, depending on how you grew up in your house, right? Like, are you allowed to be creative? Like for me, I grew up in a household with, God bless him, I love my dad, but he's got OCD in terms of cleanliness. And so like my mum was super crafty and creative and loved to like take us on all these crafty, arty adventures. You know, we'd get the chalks out and we'd draw all over the floor and we'd play hopscotch and we'd get the what's it called? The paddling pool out and the hose. And then like as soon as my dad was about to arrive home, mum would be like, quick, tidy it all up, like tidy it up, like don't let dad see it. So I was like, shit, no, I'm not allowed to be creative. Oh my God, there's so much tension around it. Oh my God, no, I can't let go. No, I have to be perfect. I have to put it all back together. Otherwise he's going to tell me off and I'm going to be in trouble. And it's back to the same thing as I described in the school situation, where you suppress that giggle and you suppress that laugh. And then you're known as like the class clown and you're not taken seriously. You're just not taken seriously, even though all you're doing is expressing yourself. So at what point in your life did you stop expressing yourself? At what point were you either shamed or you felt ashamed for expressing yourself in your full liberation, in your full silliness? Josh and I played it. I can see he's maybe still live watching, but Josh and I played a really fun game the other night with some words. Like, it's a really fun word game. We were just laughing loads out loud. And we were like, when did we stop having a laugh? Like, when did everything get so serious? Especially when you're on this healing journey. If you are a woman who is cycle breaking, and a man too, but you know, I predominantly speak to women here. Like, if you are a woman who's on your healing journey, on your awakening journey, and everything just feels like a lot, right? Because this journey is not love and light. I really can't even stand that phrase, love and light. Like, it gives me the icks, like it gives me the full on body icks. That phrase needs to go in the bin. Or we can turn it into a song, like love and light, love and light. I'm a light. Oh, hey, Kayla. Anyway, oh, I love that, Cara. Yeah, having kids brought me back to my inner child. Definitely think that happens for a lot of parents. And I actually saw, this is a tangent because I'm going to go back to the love and light thing, but I saw recently a video, I think it was a video or a post. I know you do. I hate that phrase so much. It like literally gives me the icks. But yeah, I saw a post recently that was talking about hey Kayla, so nice to see you, about how far, like, the difference between mothers and fathers. And I guess if you're a single mum, like, you have to encompass both aspects of the parenting. But if you have the mother and the father and they're both present in the parenting situation, I saw a reel, and maybe it's not true, it's good to go and do your own research and question everything, that said that fathers have more of a propensity to play with their kids, like they're more playful with their children. And like, often the mother has that more kind of like structural space, and it may not be true. And of course, it's different in every household. And I don't think any of that stuff should be taken as gospel. But I do wonder if like that also brings up the inner child again. Yeah, exactly. I know like for single mums, it's probably like a bit of both. And also it can't be true for every single family. Like, it's just a video that I saw, but it was interesting to observe it. And I wondered, like, when I see or have experienced like dads playing with their kids, like, I wonder if dads can just play for longer or like get in that role more easily. Maybe mums have more of that like fear of the danger of like the kid hurting themselves or whatever it is. But it was an interesting video to watch. But surely it's not, you know, applicable to all circumstances and all families and all situations. But yeah, Kayla's saying, I don't feel like I get to play enough with my kids because I'm doing the boundary setting. Yeah, I think this is what this video was basically trying to say. Exactly that, like that the fathers have more of like the openness to play, or like the more capacity to hold that sense of play with their kids. And so it's interesting that you're saying, Cara, that you know, your inner child came out more when you had kids. And I'm wondering like why it takes us to be adults to get back to kids, to be childlike again, like where we lost that silliness, like where it was in your life, maybe specifically. Anyone who's watching this or listening to this on the podcast or watching the live, like, when did you get told, or what was that moment where your silliness was suppressed, where it was taken away from being sacred? Because it is sacred. Like, joy is our birthright. Like, we weren't put on this planet to constantly suffer. Many of us do. Cheers. But we weren't actually put on this planet to suffer. We are put on this planet to heal and to grow and to expand and to liberate ourselves. And part of that liberation is just having a freaking laugh. And I want to go back to the healing journey, because it isn't all love and light. When you're going through an awakening journey, a healing journey, a spiritual journey, there's a lot of deep, serious shadow stuff that comes up. We have to keep coming back to the lightness, coming back to the joy, coming back to the silliness. But we can't dismiss those moments of like, well, yeah, that moment when Mrs. So-and-so at school said this to me, and that shut me down, and I was never creative after that ever again. Or like the moment for me as a kid when I would want to be so creative and messy. I wanted to be so messy with my silliness, but I was scared of my dad. And so I shut down my messiness. Like, I'm so not a messy person. I am the opposite of messy. I'm probably more leaning towards the perfectionist OCD. Well, I am. I've had to really recover from that because I was so scared to get messy and creative and silly. All those moments in drama classes when I was younger, when I used to go to all these after school drama things. And, you know, I performed on like West End stages when I was younger. Like I was like really into it. But it was about putting on this like performative mask. And then I had to be serious and professional. And I was like, I don't want to be serious and professional. I just want to be fun. I just want to have a laugh. Yeah, I'm in the jungle, so the internet is patchy in general. Yeah, our Wi-Fi here is not always the best. But I really just wanted to come on and talk about this today because as we cross into the spring, as we just come across this threshold into the spring equinox, and it's like this new season of our life, there's a difference. You can feel the change in the air. You can feel the change in the atmosphere. Like here in the jungle, even though it's been like 35 degrees or more since we've got here, as you can probably tell, patchy jungle, yeah, jungle life, jungle, jungle, jungle life. That is a song that Josh and I made up to alchemize the frustration of being in the jungle. You see, silliness. We just sat down with the guitar and just channeled that song, and it was so much fun, and it totally changed our mood when we were having a really hard time. And you know, that's exactly it. It's like coming back to that joy, that silliness, because this journey is not easy. And as we cross this threshold into the spring, as we're entering a new season of our lives, you can feel the change in the air. Even though it's been super hot here, I would say we've still very much been in our winter, putting down the roots, planting the seeds, starting to see them come into fruition now a little bit more, starting to see them bloom. So even though seasonally over here, we're not experiencing the change in weather or the change in air or the change in the season, and the clocks don't change here or anything like that, I still very much feel internally that as I am part of the land, like I am seasonally changing. And as women, we are always seasonally changing. And so I really, really wanted to focus on this theme of like coming back to silliness and coming back to joy and knowing that it's your birthright as we enter this new season of like, how can we plant more seeds of joy? How can we plant more seeds of silliness? How can we come back to that childlike innocence? And that's the theme that I'm going to be, we're going to be exploring in this Sunday's Women's Circle, because it was really inspired by, as I said, by Alicia, who was sitting in my last circle, who was like, wow, I found myself like clenching my jaw and not allowing myself to laugh and not allowing myself to smile, even though other people were making me laugh so much. And we always have a laugh in my women's circle, by the way. It's always funny as fuck. It's super funny. Someone's always going to make us laugh. And it's deeply transformative and beautiful. But we love to bring in laugh. I'll send you a link afterwards, Cara, so you can have a look. But I really do feel like, yeah, I want to really embrace this silly side for you, for women, for your liberation, for your full expression, for your joy, for your children, for your legacy. And honestly, like it's a theme that's really touching me too. Like we've had a hard time here, and I just want to have a laugh too. I want you to know that it's okay for you to have a laugh, and nothing bad is going to happen if you do. Nothing bad is going to happen if you just let yourself go and have a good old giggle. So I would love you to join me on Sunday and bring that element of joy, bring that element of playfulness. We're going to go on a deep transformative journey. As always, I will take you on a deep meditation journey to access the parts of you that have shut down, the parts of you that have lost that sense of silliness. And we will also we will have a sharing circle. We'll have time for journaling. I'm going to hold a light language activation for you to clear any of the blocks that maybe have stopped you from accessing your silliness and bring it back up to the light, so that you can really feel that sense of like, oh yeah, now I get to go and have some fun. Now I get to go and like connect with other women, and it's actually really cool, and it doesn't have to be serious all the time. So let's bring that back. I cannot wait to sit with you in circle. Thank you so much for joining me for this live, and thank you so much for those of you that are listening on the podcast for listening to this episode. It's been beautiful chatting with you. Wishing you a magical, magical day.